and we'd just like to know who you are, what your club is, how long it's been around, and how it's grown over those years.
Sure. Well, my name's Tim Hewitson, and this is
Diney Houseman.
And we're from the Melbourne Argonauts Rowing Club, which was established back in 2001, so this is our 14th year. And the purpose of the club is to provide a safe and welcoming and friendly environment for LGBTI community members to try out the sport of rowing and have lots of fun along the way.
Yeah, and so who does the club actually cater for then?
Pretty much anybody that wants to join. So predominantly our members are people from Melbourne's gay and lesbian community. A lot of our members are from the area of Council of Port Phillip, which is where our club is based, but we have people from all over Melbourne, and we have gay and straight members.
All right, Tim, so how does a person's level of ability for rowing affect their ability to join? I.e., do you need to be able to row to be part of the club?
Well, that's a great question. I actually had never rowed in my life when I joined the club all those years ago. And I joined because I'd see these guys rowing down Albert Park Lake and thought that looks like fun. And next thing I knew, I found myself bringing the Argonauts up and did the Learn to Row course that the Argonauts offer. So for me, as a complete non-rower, I was able to learn the basics of rowing with the Argonauts and then take part in crews and gradually develop my skills in the environment that the Argonauts offers. So it can be for people who have never rowed before as well as those who have rowed before.
Okay, so you run Learn to Row days a couple of times a year, is that right?
So we generally have 3 Learn to Row courses a year, usually in the second half of the year. They consist of a weekend of training, and then you have a 4-week membership after that where we encourage you to come down and keep on giving it a go. And after that, join the club and keep training with us.
All right. Well, what if I wanted to join the club but I actually wasn't too interested in rowing? Could I, do another role in the club?
Well, I suppose you could, because we're always looking for people who can help. It's a busy job running a rowing club, but maybe those in that situation, maybe you'd be comfortable with the social rowing aspects of it, because not everyone competes. Some people actually become rowers, but they just do our social rowing stream, which is a Saturday morning and a Tuesday night, and it's a sort of a fun rowing thing. And many of those people contribute in other ways to the club as well, because there's always things to do running a rowing club.
So you have got like a competitive and a social stream, which a lot of the clubs do have to not contend with, but just manage those different motivations for different members, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
And so if I was, I came to your Learn to Row day and I'm a bit interested, but I'm still a bit nervous, do you have people within the club that kind of mentor the newer players,
Very
rowers?
Yep, very much so. We actually have various streams. We have rowing for competition, rowing to win, social
rowing to win, I like the sound.
social rowing and all that sort of thing, and there's a couple of key people in the club. But the other thing too is that we don't actually require everyone to compete, as I said. But for me, my experience was always I had a couple of coaches in the early days who were very, very supportive, and I was able to learn how to row. But I have to say, the first time I did a regatta, I was terrified, and I almost didn't do it because I was so scared. But once I'd done one, it was like, oh wow, this is fantastic, and just take the plunge and have a go. Not in the water, just in the boat.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the fear of wearing those little zooty outfits.
Oh, well, aren't they beautiful? Can't you see them over there? They're just lovely, okay? Some people are a bit scared initially, but I seem to have no trouble anymore. Neither does Dani, I know.
Yeah, I think when you're surrounded by a whole group of people all wearing the same outfit, it doesn't matter anymore.
Now, Dani, we heard before why Tim joined the club. Why did you join the club, and what has it meant to you being a member of the Argonauts?
I joined the club having rowed for a year in high school many, many years ago, and had spent a lot of time thinking about how much I'd enjoyed it and wanting to get back into the sport again. So I contacted the club and was able to join up straight away as a member because I'd been assessed as being able to row. And it was just great getting back into the sport, really enjoying it, having the options of the different kinds of rowing I'd want to do. So when I started, I was very much only interested in just getting in the boat every now and again and having a bit of a paddle. And quite quickly I realised I was actually interested in competing again, and the club was able to facilitate that for me. So it's meant not only have I been able to get back into rowing, which is a sport that I love, but I've also met a whole heap of wonderful people and have formed great new friendships. It's a really social and collegiate kind of club as well.
Okay, so I'm here, I'm talking to you guys. If I get interested, how do I find out more about Melbourne Argonauts?
Best thing to do is to go to the web and look up www.melbourneargonauts.com.au, and our website's full of all the information about the club, the backstory of the club, the history of the club. There's also lots of tabs about how you can find out about our next Learn to Row courses and how to make a start with rowing. It's all fairly straightforward in that regard. Thanks very much.
Hi, we're here talking to the Frontrunners, and I'd like you to introduce yourself to us.
Hi there, I'm Neil Giles and I'm the president of Melbourne Frontrunners.
Well, what is a Frontrunner?
Frontrunners are the GLBTIQ running and walking group of Melbourne.
And how long have Frontrunners been around in Melbourne?
So just in 2014 we celebrated our 10th anniversary as Melbourne Frontrunners, which was a great party that we had down on the park.
So 10 years. Tell me how long you've been involved and how the club has grown over those 10 years.
Okay, so I've been involved for the last 4 years, and the club's grown from a really small sort of handful of people, and now we're sort of into our 50 and 60 members, with average sort of running groups is 20 to 30 on a Saturday, so it's a great turnout.
So you mentioned both running and walking, so I would assume therefore if I wasn't a gung-ho runner, do you mean actually the official walking or just walking, casually?
No, just casually walking. We've got a number of people that bring their dogs along for the fun of it, so they go walking, or you can try and run if your dog's in the spirit to go running with them as well. So we have a big range of people, and their speeds run from sort of quite slow running, a very slow jog, through to people who are running good quality marathon times.
Okay, so the club caters for people who are interested in the kind of social fitness, and then also people who are a bit more competitive, yeah?
Yeah, totally. I mean, probably we spend more time having coffee than we do actually running, which shows how social a club we are. But yeah, we have a huge range of people, and depending on what they want to deliver and what their outcomes are for the year, we try and sort of target them around that. And if they want to run the big distances and do things like Melbourne Marathon Festival, or just a half marathon, or 5K or 2K, then we try and work it through all through the year.
Okay, so you say you try and work them through. Does that mean there's kind of formalised training or support for newer members who need to get a little bit of structured training under their belt before they try a marathon?
Yeah, we try and bring on some coaches every now and again before the big events to try and give people the ability to try and do some work, but that all depends on obviously the finances that year and how much money we can raise during the year to pay for those coaching staff.
Alrighty. So you mentioned before you joined the club about 4 years ago. What prompted you to join the club, and what has it meant for you being part of the Melbourne Frontrunners?
Yeah, so I was new to Melbourne back 4 years ago. I was fresh off the boat from the UK, and it was just somewhere to meet new people, and grow a circle of friends, and it's been a great opportunity to do that, and also try and stay fit during that period, but it's been a struggle.
Okay. Alrighty, you've got me a bit excited about the idea. How can I find out about the club? Where does the club run or walk?
So we run on Saturdays around the Botanical Gardens from the Observatory Gate. So that starts at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. But further information can be found from our website, which is melbournefrontrunners.com.au.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.